tirar esse coisa aqui, né? Voltar para baixo esse aqui, né? Bernardo, vai para baixo esse quadro aí, ó. Esse negócio, apagamos.
Foi o Lucas que levantou isso aqui.
I can take you home. All the colors, all the seasons, oh my lover, don't let him take you down, 'cause I don't wanna leave you. Call me up, I've been here all along. If you close your eyes, I can take you home. All the colors, all the seasons, oh my lover, don't let him take you down, 'cause I don't wanna leave you. All the colors, all the seasons, oh my lover, don't let him take you down, 'cause I don't wanna leave you, 'cause I don't wanna leave you, 'cause I don't wanna leave you.
Onde é que a gente vai colocar esse...
Já vamos começar?
And I have brushed my teeth, you know, so it's
That in challenge will happen like very loud.
Obrigado. Welcome, everybody. When I was asked by the students of the ESG Center of Excellence International Summer School of this year if we think it's a good idea to do an event about how to do business in Brazil, Professor Aditya Singh and myself, we were absolutely in from the very beginning because we thought it's really a great initiative. So congratulations to the organizers that besides the very intensive program that we are doing at the summer school, that you are willing to go this extra mile. But I feel, and I have not a lot of experience with Brazil, but I feel Brazil is going the extra mile in a lot of circumstances, right? So Brazil is one of the BRIC countries where the music plays, like we say in Germany, music plays means where the development is happening. And for me, basically, I could speak a lot about Brazil, but I would like to give it to the experts, the floor, and not to steal your time. 3 points I feel are important to mention. One is that Brazil is the 5th biggest country in the world. It's one of the biggest economies in the world. And it has also the biggest rainforest in the world. So on one side, growth is something that Brazil would like to do, but they have also, and they carry weight on their shoulders because of their geographical situation. Having the responsibility, what is happening with this rainforest, we all know about the carbon footprint in the world, the global warming and so forth. So it's very interesting to get to know more about the concept of sustainable development in different industries. So I'm very much looking forward to learn a lot tonight. And I congratulate all the participants who also are willing to go the extra mile and to be here. And I'm looking very much forward also to the discussion after we have heard what we will hear. And I hand over to the specialists of the night when it comes to do how to do business in Brazil. Thank you very much and enjoy the evening. Thank you.
last years, Brazil has become a benchmark of productivity, global productivity. McKinsey was researching, and 60% of our farmers, the farmers who were asked, said the key for better profits for the future would be productivity. No surprise that what we project for this year, 2025, is 700 million euros as an output in this country. Yeah, having this, as we need to higher the productivity, we will have some challenges. Challenges with storage, because where to put all these crops? Challenges as the production distribution, to flow this production. Challenge that we have. About 85 to 90% of the fertilizers we use come from abroad. Challenges in the view of some, but in the view, we prefer to look at it as opportunities. There's opportunities that we have some proposal to help these agricultures, this business, this sector of the country to grow. And then I introduce myself. I'm Janaina Manfredini, and here I am with the hat of as CEO of Catarina Fertilizantes. Our mission is to build sustainable, profitable, and fertile business to everyone who deal with us, everyone who relates with us. And as a proposal, I will show you in three perspectives. The vision we had when we look at the field, the context we are, and the solution we propose. That's what I'm going to show you here. It's a proposal of a project that is being consulted, and just this week we had the last license for implementation. I was already here in Europe when the license came up, so we are working on it for a long time. And we believe this could help a lot the region where we are. The view is, yes, good. The view is the complex of an industrial agriculture in Itiquira. Itiquira is a small town in the south of Mato Grosso, one of the biggest in agriculture in Brazil. So we propose to unify the industry and the agriculture in this project. The implementation of the industrial complex would have the corn processing facility in the same plant, the soybean crushing, the cotton seed crushing, biodiesel production, and the fertilizer mixing facilities. Imagine that in this area, there are a lot of production, you will see how much. We would put together the crushing, so we would work with their crops. We would provide the fertilizers, the storage, and things like that. The context, the site location that we have, yes, is in Mato Grosso. You see Brazil. Today I listened to someone that said that imagine that when it goes out of the metropolis like São Paulo and Rio, you have the jungle. And I showed them that's not exactly like that. There are jungles, especially in Amazon, yes, but we have lots of things else, yeah. So Itiquira is in the southeast region of Mato Grosso. It's important for you to remember this. So here you have the distance from the ports, and I don't think you can see here. from Santos is 1,300 kilometers, about from the port of Paranaguá, 1,500 kilometers, from Iritituba in Pará, 1,800 kilometers. Distance from the major cities, Cuiabá, that is the capital of Mato Grosso, 347 kilometers. Rondonópolis, 147 kilometers. Campo Grande is the capital of Mato Grosso do Sul, 444 kilometers. São Paulo, 1,382 kilometers. What means it's very far from most of the places they should go with their production. And then we have, in the context yet, we have the highway access, and you will see that boarding the complex, there are exactly 2 kilometers of highway. And railways. And we have the highways to go. So everything very close to the project. The town, the municipal area, it's a territory of 8,070,000 square kilometers, a population of 12,000 people. It's a very small town. One human development index of 0.7, and we tend to improve it, and you will see how. The schooling rate of 96.6, rural area is 61%, and urban population in this small town is 38%. This is the context where we are. Then we have the project data. The project data in this area, they grow 522 tons a year of corn. This project would need just 6% of it. Soy, they produce 1 million tons a year. The project would consume 10% only. The cotton seed, 200 tons a year, and it would use 15% that is produced only in this area, the southeast of Mato Grosso. The production capacity in this plant, corn-based ethanol, almost 1 million cubic meters a year, 660,000 tons a year of corn meal, 445,000 cubic meter on biodiesel, and 600,000 tons of fertilizer a year. And we could deal that. The project highlights the internal rate of return, IRR, is 31.3%. That's what's projected. The payback in 6.5 years. Estimated job creation, 642 direct jobs, which is 5% of the municipal population. What means we have a big project using a very small amount of the potential of this area. Here in ESG, yes. Just positivo here. I need to do one more. Yes, good. We will come back there, okay? Zero effluent generation from the production process. So there is no discharge within the process itself. All effluents generated originate from administrative areas, cleaning activities, and maintenance operation within the facility, and will be treated for reuse in the irrigation of the project site. Construction of containment basins to manage potential leaks in high-risk areas. continuous monitoring and control atmospheric pollution, emissions and waste generation. Ashes results from the biomass combustion will be applied as fertilizer on nearby agriculture fields. Potential for carbon credits generation. And now I know that probably water credits generation. A large share of raw materials and finished products will be transported using the railway located at the rear at the site. A designed area is planned for the construction vocational schools. And this is kind of the cherry here, because it will be a training area for the workers in the plant, and it will be for the city during the night or some moments. A dedicated space for employee recreation and relaxation is included in the project. You can imagine that 12,000 people, they don't have so much of this inside the town. So there's another thing. All the energy that the plant will consume will be generated there, and we still have some extra to be sold. And then we have the master plan. Just to have an idea, this is the chronological organogram for this that I want to show you later. But I changed it here before I didn't tell Erlan. That's why we are going up and down, okay? So you see here, the blue areas are the first phases of this project, because it's drawn in 3 phases, okay? So we have the fertilizers blending plant here. I don't know if you can see there. Let's see, as that teacher. Here you have the fertilizer plant, the corn storage facility, the corn ethanol plant, the soybean storage facility, the soybean crushing plant, and biodiesel. And here we have the soybean and cotton crushing plant and biodiesel. Then the photovoltaic power plant. This is a special place for parking trucks. It's planned about 1,000 trucks waiting there. And here all the facilities that for truck center, gas station, and so on, to give support for the workers who will be here. And the school is here, right in front of the road. Then you can show yes. You see that we are planning the fertilizer mixing facilities going in the first 11 months, the corn-based ethanol phase 1 in the 18 months later. So that's the way we are planning to go, okay? And we have here 16 months, 5 years. Good. Just to show you a little bit of the project, you have the 3D, yes? And here you have the fertilizers planting machine, the corn stage facility, ethanol distillery, fermentation process, integrated control center, distillery, steam turbine is where we will generate the energy. Yes? You can show us the next one, yeah. Okay? And here we have the integrated operational center, the firefighting center, and utility technical room. So the project is all the distillery up there, fermentation process. You can go. Yes. The oil storage, and you see here the protection, where if you have any leaking here, the liquid doesn't come out of these walls. Yeah, this is to prevent high risks. And, okay, Yes. Then one more, and then you see that we have storage, so we can storage for them. We can manufacture for the producers. So we can be a very good support for everything. We also want to intend to be a hub of technological services. It's where we can help them to improve and use technology in their farms. Yes, we are very excited with this, and so is the town, because they see jobs, but they see growth. Another thing we just did, we hired Jaime Lerner. Jaime Lerner is an urbanist, very famous in Brazil, and he is going to plan the growth of this town for 50 years. So this will be a legacy of this plan there. Yes? To have a better view of this, you will see a very small video where they show the project growing. It's interesting because I remember the day that I saw the first drawing of this project, when the man was just looking at the field and saying it could be this and this and this and this, and it's the time that you say he's crazy. He must be crazy. And then 2 years later, you see this is in this of the projects going on, and we are going after funds to complete the project. Yes, but it's very important, and this project is something that don't forget to dream. Yes, the name of the man who dreamed this is Manfredini. Yeah, for the first time, and now the project is like this. It is said, I really don't know, but it is said by specialists that there is no one project like this connecting all these dots in Brazil yet. So if you know an investor who wants to invest in agribusiness, this is a very solid project. Thank you very much, and I have to thank Advogados Engenharia, who also sponsored our happy hour here after the presentations. Thank you very much.
close tomorrow. It's already.
Problem. So again, just to summarize for those who are not listening, we are talking that we have a big market, 220 million consumers. We are the gateway to Latin America since we are one of the biggest countries and biggest economies in Latin America. And also, we are the fifth population of the world. So please, you can forward. And what we have to consider to go to Brazil. We had a class today that it was a marvelous example that things that we have to consider when we are planning ourselves to go to our country, to Brazil, to this country that a lot of people heard about, but when you go there, you see it's quite a little bit different than we heard about. First is the mentality. In order to go to Brazil, we are a huge country. So in this way, we are a little bit different from Europe, since Europe, you have the expertise to go abroad. You have the expertise to travel, to conquer, to go abroad. Brazil is, in the other hand, since we are a big country, we are used to do everything inside. So we have a little bit, it's a little bit challenging to accept those who come from abroad and different ideas. But in the same time, we are a country that we like to receive the person. We like people. We are gentle. So we want to know people. In this way, when you decide to go to other country, cultural nuances, they are very important, and behaviors, they are very important to be considered when you want to expand your operation, when you decide to hire people, and when you decide to deal with Brazilian enterprise, okay? The second is the regulation. After my friend Lucas will talk a little bit better, but when we are talking about the regulation of Brazil, we are very famous because our taxation system is difficult. We have some regulations that are, how can I say, the way that we enforce our regulations sometimes are challenging if you see by the other point of view. In this way, it's something that you have to plan yourself before you decide to go to Brazil. And the third one is import-export. Nowadays, talking about import, export, and migration that we talk in the future, those are tools that the executive power of any country, they can use it in order to do, in order to make politics. So you have to be careful and you have to be aware of the actual condition of the country in order to plan yourself and then go to do business or to live in Brazil. So let's talk about ways that we can do the market entry in Brazil, okay? When we talk about exportation, importation, we are talking about sending our products to other country. For Brazil, it's very good because we have a lot of people that wants to consume products that come from another country. In Brazil, we have a lot of commodities that we sell, but sometimes more manufactured products, they are more interested to be selling to us, since sometimes we do not have the skills or the tools or the structure to develop these products, okay? So import-export is very good. You have a low risk, since you are just sending your products to Brazil. However, your margin is not so good. Okay, you have to send a lot of products because you are not there. So you must have someone that you will distribute the product to you. You must have someone that will receive the product to you. But depending upon the strategy that it's know the place that you are going, it's a very good strategy. It's a very good way to enter in Brazil. The second one is to use agents, commercial representatives, local distributors. They are those who will get your product and will present to the Brazilian country, that will present in the several states that you have in Brazil, that will present to the company, to the companies that we have there. In this way, the risk is also a low risk since you have someone that's in Brazil that will be responsible for distribute your product. Third, joint ventures and alliances. It's starting to become a little bit more complex, okay? And you say, Bernardo, we are talking about regulations, taxations, that it's complex, that you must have the mentality. Of course, you have to be aware that you are entering a new country, okay? So you have to be aware that you have challenges. And if you overcome those challenges, if you plan yourself to be aware of those challenges, this will be very good. It's a very good opportunity. However, if you think, oh no, I will do like I do in my country, it does not work like this. I'll do like the country X that is, we are talking about a developing country. So as a developing country, we have our challenges and we have our opportunities. In this way, coming back to joint ventures, when we are talking about joint ventures, it will be an alliance that you made with a Brazilian company. So your company in your home country can draft, can create, can build an alliance with a Brazilian company. Of course, we will share the challenges. Maybe your company will send the know-how, will send the technology, and the Brazilian company will be responsible to enforce or to implement this technology or this know-how. Or there's a lot of types of joint ventures. It's not the case that I want to extend in this matter. But when you're talking about a joint venture, now you have more risks since you have more obligations, okay? But however, you have more opportunities. Your profit will be higher. Fourth, please come back. Fourth, we have the local subsidiaries that when your company decides to open a branch in your territory. And finally, it's when you decide to do the direct investment. You invest in the country, you create a company in the country, you build a factory. In this way, it's the major opportunity. However, the risks are higher. Okay, please. Just you to explain a little bit regarding the main business structures in Brazil, okay? We also have limited liability companies like the other countries. We call in Brazil LTDA, limitada, okay? What's the challenge that we have here in Brazil? When you're talking about limited liability company, you are liable. What does it mean? You have risk until the social capital of the company. So the money that you invest, that you decide that will be the social capital of the company, this will be your risk as partner, as investor, okay? But it's crystal clear, it's black and white? No. Sometimes in Brazil, the Court of Justice, they decide a little bit different. In this way, this is the most used model, this is the most used structure, but you must be aware, okay? Then you have corporates that we call SCA, joint stock companies, that you become a shareholder of the company. You buy part of the company, but you are not a partner, you are a shareholder. And in this way, these companies, you have a little bit liability comparing yourself to the limited liability companies. You have joint ventures that when a company do alliance with other, that this joint venture can be contractual, or you can actually establish yourself in Brazil and do the joint venture. And finally, when you can decide to open your branch in Brazilian territory. Erlan, please. And this is a boring part, but we have to go through it. Just talk about taxation. Why taxation in Brazil is so complex, okay? First, we are a federation. So we have the federal union, we have the states, and you have the cities. But different from other countries, the federal union, then states, and also the cities, the municipalities, they have autonomy, okay? So over their legislation, they are major. They can decide based on the legislation. So the federal union cannot enforce something in the states, and the states cannot enforce something in the municipality. And you said, no, why this is difficult? Because you must be aware of this 3 degrees of legislation, okay? I will do this because this is a little bit more technical than would supposed to be. We also have the problem that you said, Bernardo, why people from Brazil, we have difficulties to hire companies abroad, to hire suppliers abroad. Because when we have to do a payment to a company abroad, we pay almost 50% of tax. So if my company decides to hire a supplier here in Switzerland, I have to pay the tax. I have to pay 50% over my cost, over my fees. In this way, we lost competitivity. This is why a lot of companies, they decide to go to Brazil because they have clients there. The client says, I will not pay 50% over your costs to do business with you that it's abroad. In this way, you have to open a company here. So I do not need to pay the 50% because 50%, it's a very, very, very huge taxation. The good thing that we have treaties to avoid double taxation. Nowadays, we have treaties with more than 37 countries, okay? We also have treaties to avoid double payment social security and in order to use the social security of the other country. In this way, these are 2 tools that we use, 2 instruments that we use to become more comfortable in order to do business to Brazil. Please. And now is the good part. When you decide to do business in Brazil, depending upon the way that you do the investment, depending upon the way that you want, you can live in Brazil. You can live in Rio de Janeiro, you can live in São Paulo, you can live in the northeast of the country, in north. So in this way, with every investment, you receive the capability to migrate and to get a residence in Brazilian territory. And you say, why this is good? Of course, despite the fact that we have to be aware of the taxation, when you talk about the possibility that to be resident in this country, and we are talking about a big world with a lot of, nowadays a little bit of turmoils, but a lot of opportunities. I can give you an example. When we are talking about a golden visa, an investment visa in Europe, depending upon the country, we are talking about 1 million euros in order to make you eligible to apply for investment visa. When we are talking about Brazil, we are talking about if you buy a real estate investment, it's 145,000 Swiss francs. So it's not expensive at all. With less than 200,000 euros, you are able to buy investment in Brazil, to buy a property and to live there and to be resident there, okay? Other way, if you decide to open your company and you do an investment over 75,000 Swiss francs, you are eligible to apply for your residence as the entrepreneur, as the partner of this company. And finally, if you work remotely, you are able to apply for a residence that called digital nomad visa. With this digital nomad condition, you are able to live in Brazil for 2 years or even more, just proving that you are a digital nomad that work remotely with technology or with marketing or all the kind of skill that you can use remotely, and you have a company abroad that it's your employer. So we are talking about a country that it's open. Of course, that we have our challenges, but every country have. In this way, I can say that I can say more than hundreds of persons that went to live there and to want business there. If you plan yourself properly, if you study what you're doing, you have a good opportunity of do business and a wonderful place to live, okay? Thank you very much. Now it's you. Deixa eu botar essa porra. You turn on my microphone. Great. Hello, everyone. It's a huge challenge talk after my colleagues. Brazil is one of the most important countries in the world, as Professor Casanova said. I really appreciate this commentary. It's in the same path that a lot of warm welcome that I received in the last few days when I arrived in Switzerland. I'm impressed with the quality of the country, the beautiful scenario, the warm people, the intelligent people, the capacity to organize and figure out one way to keeping in a good path the whole country. It's not so big than Brazil. Mr. Professor Adine said that the total population of Switzerland is 5 million persons, and it's the same 9 million persons. Okay, okay. So it's double of the population of just my state where I born, Minas Gerais, when we have 5 million, and it's the same of the city that I live nowadays in São Paulo. So it's a small country, but it's so organized, it's so great to see that you have a decentralized market for credit carbon when the rest of the world try to understand where is it and what is it and where is the correct path to organize the market and sell or buy this kind of credit. By the way, I think this is the only path to create strong relationships, to create to change the culture of the whole world about the ESG agenda, the necessity to change our habits to be in a healthier world and to be aligned with our objectives. Erlan passed, but by the way, my name is Lucas. I am a partner of Martinelli Advogados, one of the most important and big law firms in Brazil. This is my background, but it's not important in this moment. I'm proud of my career because I study hard to do the best solutions, to offer the best solutions for my clients, but it's not necessary to pass this. You can pass this is my law firm. We have 25 years. We have more than 1,000 lawyers in Brazil, and we are open to catch up with all of you to offer solutions if the companies that you work decide to implement a subsidiary in Brazil. But you can pass one more. Maybe this is working? No. Okay. Well, after said about how much impressed that I was with your country, it's incredible, and definitely I will put Zurich and Lugano in my list that the most incredible cities that I have and had the opportunity to visit. This is one question that it's not, it's a genuine question, and I think it will be a good question to understand how much impressive is it's the companies in Brazil, and how much the companies in Brazil have potential and the people have quality and capacity to offer good services, to establish strong partnerships with foreign companies. The question is, what does it say about a country when a Swiss private bank decides to exit and the largest Latin American investment bank steps in, pays cash, and grows stronger? The guy in the photo is André Esteves. He's a founder of BTG Pactual. It's the biggest investment bank in Brazil. And 3 months ago, they bought the operations in Brazil of Julius Baer.
this is not about Julius Baer. The capacity of Julius Baer, everybody knows. It's about the capacity of BTG Pactual, and this is a highlight that the capacity of the both part of the enterprises, companies, public companies, private companies in Brazil, and it's a highlight that we have a lot of good employees, we have a lot of good persons that study hard, study around the world, back to Brazil, and offer good solutions. You can pass. BTG Pactual acquired Julius Baer Brazil operations in 2025. About BTG Pactual, its consolidated leadership in high net worth client segments. Importantly, this happened despite Brazil's high inflation and elevated real interest rates, proof of a resilient capital market. Yes, it's good. It's not, and again, I'm not sponsored by BTG, but I'm proud of the history of BTG, and I think this is better talk about this case, this good case, this good deal, than talk just about the economic and the financial landscape in Brazil. The scenario is challenging. It's really challenging. We have a left party in the power. Lula, our actual president, think that it's a good path. You spend a lot of money with debt, with public costs, and decide to fight a lot of times with financial institutions. And this is bad because when they did it and when they do it, the market reacted and we have a volatile capital market because of that. But because of this, despite of this scenario, because of public companies and the Brazilian companies in general, like BTG, like Engie, it's a French one, but established in Brazil a long time, but like company, Brazilian, CBA, it's my client, a lot of them offer good services, offer best solutions, and can be a good partner for Switzerland. So this is a point that I think it's better to destack, to highlight, than to highlight just the challenging scenario that we live when we think about the economic and the financial landscape. And yes, the inflation is high. It's almost 12.75%. The real interest rate, it's almost 5%. So everybody lose money in Brazil. Unfortunately, in the first moment, the banks offer, when we analyze the spread of the banks, they pick up money with in the market with an interest of 5%, for example, and for 12%, for example, and offer in a debt structures for the market with 20%. So they just can realize his debt, realize a bit of lose money a bit, but control his debts. But so it's a difficult scenario, but we offer, because of the quality of the companies, a lot of segments in Brazil. We have good opportunities like renewable energies, like financial institutions, like some kinds of hedge funds, and like our real economy. And as Jana presented of us, and by the way, congratulations for the certification. It's a big step, a huge step to internationalization, the whole operation of Catarina Fertilizantes. So we should have proud of Catarina Fertilizantes too. So we have a lot of opportunities. We are the largest country in Latin America and one of the most largest country in Brazil. And I think we can highlight this more than highlight the corruption or economy and financial issues. This is the dates of the transaction of BTG. They pay almost 550 million reais in this acquired process, and they use, I think, just their own resource. But go to the main point, to the main case that I will talk with all of you. You can pass for me, please. It's about the leverage buyout operation. No, back one, please. About the back. I think I lose one slide, but it's no problem. This is this one. Thank you. About the ENGIE and TAG case. ENGIE, it's a public company. I think everybody knows ENGIE. He was my client in this operation specifically. ENGIE decided to use the majority part of his own resources, something like 90% to acquire the TAG. TAG, it was a subsidiary from PBR, Petrobras, and ENGIE used 90%, used a debt to equity structure, the leverage buyout, to acquire ENGIE, use 90% almost of the own resources in the acquisition, use part of the resource of CDPQ, is a Canadian hedge fund, and the rest, 10%, they prospect this money in the market and use a debt structure for it. We organize an investment fund, we organize the emission of the debentures. So it's a good path to put the skin in the game, 90%, and after that, the market was trusted enough to invest his own money in this acquisition. And this acquisition is better than use another kind of debt structure because it's the interest is lower. The interest is lower. Yes, the interest is lower than the financial institution in general offer. In this case, offered, and they have more time to pay back the investors. This is good because protect the cash and guarantee the cash flow of ENGIE for almost 15 years. So it's a good path to acquiring one company in Brazil. And I think in your institutions, in your financial institutions, in your companies, and it's not just for Switzerland, it's for foreign generals. It's a good path to implement one M&A transactions and to guarantee cash flow and guarantee access with investors that are qualified and they have money enough to offer for your company and don't put the knife in your finger or in your body. So I think it's the good way. I think I prefer use the rest of time to answer questions if everyone have some questions to me about investments in Brazil. It's really, like my colleagues present, it's a really good and trustful country to invest, despite of the whole scenario, the whole issues about economy and about financial things, the landscape of them. But it's a good one, and we have clients, when we have companies, and we have service providers that offer a very good service to support everybody in the operations, including cross-border operations. Thank you. Anyone have a question?
I have a question. Because I think that yes, Brazil is a very interesting country with a lot of opportunities. You presented a lot of factors which needs to be taken about when we would like to enter the market. But I would like to just know how you evaluate the political risk in Brazil. What is your approach? What is your evaluation? Because for me, when I think about Brazil, yes, we are a huge country with a lot of people, with a lot of opportunities, but I have a question mark about the political situation.
Okay, we need to answer your question. it's important, but it's a difficult question to answer in direct. You need to split the questions in two. I think it's in two different sides. One side is about capital market. If you are an investor, a financial institution, or you are investing in your own resources, you invest in Brazil and you will enter in a regulated market, and we just mirror the rules of the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission. So it's very easy to understand the rules about investment, time, to the difference of values of the spreads and tax. It's not a difficult point to, and it's not the government, the Brazilian government couldn't just change the rules during the night. They need to approve in the Congress one rule to change it, to increase the tax, to change the rules of the regulation of the capital market. So we have a trustable, we have a very clear and transparent regulation and clear and transparent capital market to invest. So despite of the political situation, political issues, the capital market is decentralized, and the capital market is very transparent and trustful to invest. About the real economy, this point is a bit different, but we have strong companies that following the best rules and the best regulations of compliance about governance, and they think about protect the environmental. The speech that the last president said that about explore the resource, because Europe and America explore more than us during the whole lifetime. It's not the mentality of the directors and the companies, the shareholders. So we have very strong and resilient companies there. But about when you analyze in the macroeconomy, you need to put in on the balance the interest, and the real interest rate, it's almost 5% in Brazil nowadays. And you need to analyze the situation of the how can I say, about the tax politicians, the tax rules, because we are on the process to change some things and increase the tax in some segments. So before to implement the operation in Brazil, and in my law firm, the almost 8% of my wallet, my clients nowadays is a foreign clients. I ever sit with them, meet with them, do one-on-one with the CEO, CFO, to present with my team the rules, the scenarios, and after that you can implement it there. So answering in a direct way now your question about the situation, the scenario nowadays, it's a challenging one because of the interest, it's higher than the last 7 years almost. And we have problems because of the mentality of the new president that think that he can spend a lot of money and fight almost every single day with financial institutions. So this is the challenge. But despite that, and more than that, we have quality to figure out ways to implement the operations of every foreign company in Brazil. But the time to implement will be necessary analysis, more dates about the situation. Do you understand? Have you? Okay. If any doubt more about this, great. Anyone? Well, thank you guys. It's a real pleasure to talk with all of you. And I'm really rewarded to this opportunity and to everything that I lived here, and I will live here in the next days and months.
eyes, I can take you home. All the colors, all the seasons. Oh, my lover, don't let him take you down. 'Cause I don't wanna leave you. You may call me up, I've been here all along. If you close your eyes, I can take you home. All the colors, all the seasons. Oh, my lover, don't let him take you down. 'Cause I don't wanna leave you. All the colors, all the seasons. Oh, my lover, don't let him take you down. 'Cause I don't wanna leave you. 'Cause I don't wanna leave you. 'Cause I don't wanna leave you.
So good afternoon. So thank you for stay here with us. So we talk about generative AI impact on process innovation. So talking about first CGLC. CGLC is my own company. Who we are is a hub for people and business development. Please, yes, development, and that co-creators transformer solutions with impact to generate legacy in companies through people. So we are areas of expertise is leadership development and innovation culture, knowledge management, and custom solutions. So one proprietary methodology is unique approach to co-creation solutions for small and medium enterprise specifically. So this is a methodology involve 4 steps and quantitative assessment, end-to-end process, and expert curation and knowledge management. So this is our clients in currently moment. So next, please. Now talking about the big numbers for the generative AI. So why generative AI? It's important now. First of all, it's because AI represents a paradigm shift in how business operate with the potential to transform entire industry through process innovation. So, and it's McKinsey. It's made a big number for like impact economic, like a 2.6 or 4.4 trillion million dollars globally, equivalent to the UK GDP. So why Brazil is important too in this scenario? Brazilian offers a unique opportunity for AI investments with the large market, growth, tech economic ecosystem, and significant adoption gap. National AI plan with a $23 billion investment through 2028, creating a favorable environment for foreign investors. So The industry, the Federation of Industry of the State of São Paulo is the highest federation, made a survey, is the path of the Paulista industry, just a survey with the expectation, the companies, the industry about AI. So the survey overview, change please, the survey overview, like 304 companies surveyed across São Paulo state and 17 industrial sectors represented, and 24 most comprehensive AI industrial survey in Brazil. So we have a lot of key finds in this survey. It's very important because only 1% of companies consider themselves experts in AI, while 6.3% are completely unaware of the subject. 17.8% and 0.8% of companies plan to seek more knowledge about AI in the next 12 months. Large company, 61.1% are significantly more likely to adequately seek AI information to a small company. And of course, the companies consider to use GPT, the first, then use the chat GPT, and machine learning the second, and the third, robotics. So, and the National AI Plan, AI for the Common Good, it's like a responsible AI and the AI for everybody and good for the change, the evolution of the country. And the 5 strategy axes, the first, research, development, and innovation. This is like a 13.7 billion reais in this case, for this situation, please. And forecasting innovation in AI technology and application across industry. So this is looking creation of 12 AI research centers across Brazil. It's a lot of center innovation and funding for 5,000 AI research projects by 2028. Education and human capital is the Centro, the access, like 4.2 billion investing. Developing AI talent and the workforce skill for the digital economy. Regulatory framework, of course, because this revolution, it's happened, it's need to regulatory framework. Establishment ethical guidelines and legal frameworks for AI development too. It's not a lot of money because it's more politics than investment. So infrastructure and computing, 3.1 billion. Building a device and computing capabilities and data infrastructure. So international cooperation is the other focus, and 1.2 billion investing. Forecasting global partnership and knowledge exchange in AI, it's other important way. Bilateral agreement with 15 countries, including Switzerland, of course. Swiss business stay in São Paulo to production more business. Totally 23 billions until 2028. So CGLC is a hub, and this moment I have one in hub and CGLC, one startup. The name is Match IT. The Match IT is a startup, and introduce yourself. This is business, because this business change very fast. AI based and specialized consultants. So B2B and B2G, and Jose Ramos is CEO. So everybody knows make innovation inside the companies is very difficult, expensive, and ad hoc, and not hands-on. It's sometimes the companies lose your hands and not produce effectively nothing, and the results not coming. So it's very difficult because innovation process is not easy. Sometimes initiative for news and ideas is that simple, but implement the ideas is very difficult. So every business leader needs specialized support to drive real results. Without proper expert support, 9 out of 10 companies fail to keep innovation and management their innovation pipeline. It's a very, very interesting number because many companies start the process, but a little to finish the process. Introduce yourself, meet Matthias. Matthias is a new AI, active AI, based in large language model. Innovation, more IT management. It's Matthias make the process more efficient and affordable, and continuous, and of course, hands-on. Matthias AI guide. So you can use the start and the end of process, stage gate process. And for this, the result, 18% less manual effort. Flexible methodology and skill-based AI agents, and real-time dashboards and matchmaking for managing the process innovation. So we have happy to present clients in this this moment. Caixa is the public bank in Brazil, Sebrae, and Ambima, and Comgás. Comgás is the biggest company for the gas in Brazil too. So every company net promoter score 100% when you use the Matthias. So technical agent AI flow is like this framework. The agent is the middle. So collect external data, vector database, and internal data, anonymizing the data, because in Brazil you have a protector your data, the people data, the company's data. And this vector data come to input in agent, the agent AI, Matthias, process this, and retrieval and generation for response this put when you put in Matthias agent. So retrieval and generation, again, many output information more easy in the process when you use. So the data in vector sectors, public plus international anonymized, and orchestrate RealG, agent AI, more machine learning, and chain of truth, more human in the loop, and automated alerts and dashboard during the whole process. For this, you accurate more efficient process. Lucas. So in this moment, MetIT, it's finished to 2025 in this RID to PMF, product market fit. So finish this process, agentic workflows. So you have implemented matchmaking agent, innovative management, SaaS, flexible, first constant, consistent partnership, always inside, and investing $1 million from 17% grants, 20 founders, and 10% pre-seed. And next round is scale. So in the next step, scale constant specialization. Reach 100 clients, like 5 million ARR. Matthias for IT and operations, the process of constancy specialization. SMB, lighter product, and channel partnership, more CS, custom service. For this, MetIT need for 1 million more the dollars and the early bird seed. So you have, of course, after then, and process internationalization, because it's the software and the AI can use in every country needs or company. So if you stay comfortable to know more about Matthias, and of course, would you like to participate to the revolution with AI, I invite to join us. And it's very simple. If you want to know more, please contact Rose Ramos, CEO. It's his cell phone number and email too, because this stay in the hub of CGLC. And for this moment, it is. Thank you. I'm so fast. So, people, of course, I would like to thank you for the people continue watching in the hybrid event, of course. And of course, I have a Professor Aditya for finish the schedule and the meeting.
We cannot forget to invite them for
Yes, the Professor Aditya. Please.
How do you do this?
It's just a moment.
Clip on. All right.
Yes.
Check.
Yes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to begin by thanking our dear students from Brazil. The four of them have made a fabulous presentation on why Brazil is destined to become an economic powerhouse in the coming decade, and B, why it is an ideal investment destination for so many companies in different fields. What actually strikes out is that you could be an agribusiness, you could be a new technology company, you could be a services company, you could be a commodities or product company, and all of them would have very, very interesting trajectories of growth and opportunities in Brazil. One of the biggest standouts was from all the four of our speakers was, do not just take one identity or a unidimensional approach to Brazil as a country. For those of us in Switzerland, Brazil is about 50 times the size of Switzerland, easily, if not more, okay? And it means that it is several countries within one country. It is the largest country in South America, one of the largest countries in the world. So there's so many different cultures, people, economic hubs and opportunities in Brazil. Remember, I have a connection to Brazil because I'm a member of the G20, the B20, and last year G20 Brazil was in Brazil, so the B20 task force. So I've seen personally the kind of the energy which is there in Brazil and how it's going to be destined to create impact globally. So as we move forward, I once again want to congratulate all four of them on a job very, very well done. We know behind the scenes, Marco and me, how much hard you've been working. I don't think Brazil could have asked for a better set of ambassadors to present their country, the past, the present, and a very, very bright future as we move forward. And I wish all of them the very, very best success. And I encourage all of you who are joining us live stream and live over here to look at opportunities to enter a whole new world. All right? It is the new world, as they say. So look at it, and the sky is the limit. Wish you all the very best.
Thank you.